What's going on, everybody? It's Mitsuny Nika. How's everybody's day going? Welcome back to another video. I know it's been a while since I've uploaded a video on this channel, but I'm still working on my RPG video about why turn-based combat is possibly some of the best combat in gaming if done right. But today I'm here bringing you guys another video, and this one is going to be about a game reviewer who I've frequently seen videos on a lot of times and heard some terrible takes from them about their reviews and explanations on video games and essays about games and stuff. And I firmly believe personally that this is easily the worst game reviewer on this platform. Now, this person that I'm talking about today is UnderTheMayo. If you guys don't know who UnderTheMayo is, then he is a game reviewer slash someone who does like game explanation videos and essays on certain topics, explaining like the methods of games and like their mechanics and all that, or what they're about. And he'll also sometimes review or play games that his subscribers or fan base will recommend to him. Now, the issue with that is that UnderTheMayo is a Doom Eternal fanboy. His favorite games are FPS games, and he has a huge fucking bias towards them, especially games that remind him of Doom Eternal a lot. And it seems like he wants every single FPS game to be just like Doom Eternal, and for any other game to have mechanics similar to like Doom Eternal or like God of War or Ninja Gaiden. Now, the issue with that, of course, is why does every single FPS need to be just like Doom Eternal? Now, there's more to it than just him thinking that every FPS needs to be like Doom Eternal. I'm going to show some clips to support my example of why I think that UnderTheMayo is one of the worst game reviewers on this platform, because he compares every single game to like Doom Eternal or Ninja Gaiden and says they always need to have mechanics like this, or they're just terrible, they're bland. And for a lot of games, he'll refuse to learn the mechanics, and he'll contradict himself and say that he wants a game to challenge him. But at the same time, when he's playing a game that is challenging him, he'll sit here and act like he don't want to learn the mechanics because it's bland and boring and stuff to him, and he just doesn't want to do it. Now, one of the perfect examples to support what I just said right here is his latest stream that he had, where he played Elden Ring and refused to learn the game's mechanics and everything, where he did a charity live stream. Even though it was not really a charity live stream, he wanted a PS5, so he set a donation goal and called it a charity live stream. And that's not a charity when you're making your subscribers donate to you so you can get a PS5 just to play a game you don't like. Now, there's much more context to it, and I'm going to show you guys some clips and stuff to give you a good example instead of just explaining everything.
You can go wherever you want. Well, I don't want to go anywhere because I'm not interested in this world. That's a big problem. That's one of the big problems for me. I don't want to go anywhere because I don't like how the combat feels, and I don't like how this game looks, and I'm not interested in fantasy. This is like everything that I hate in a game. I can if I want. I don't want to do any of it. I just want to know what you guys think that I need so that I can fight the other boss that I couldn't beat. Andre, I know, but you guys keep telling me that it's an open world, I can do whatever I want. I don't want to do any of it. What do I think of the art direction? Bland?
As you can see from the live stream clip, UnderTheMayo is over here saying he doesn't want to go anywhere, he doesn't like the combat, he doesn't want to learn anything about the combat, and he finds the whole game and its art style and the graphics and environments bland and boring. Now, you're probably thinking to yourself, okay, what's the issue with that? He doesn't like the game. You know, he doesn't have to like the game or want to play it or anything. Well, that's the thing. UnderTheMayo doesn't have to play this game. No one forced him to play Elden Ring, number one. Number two, he made this live stream and charity donation himself just so he could earn money to get a PlayStation 5. For, by the way, it's not really a charity when you're getting your subscribers to donate money to you to get you a PlayStation 5. And also, he's trying to get a PlayStation 5 so he can play God of War Ragnarok and make a video shitting on it because he doesn't like God of War Ragnarok, even though the game hasn't even come out yet. But he doesn't like God of War Ragnarok because it's going to be exactly like God of War 2018, which is a game he doesn't like. And he also shitted on and said that God of War 2018 was horrible and that it ruined the darn franchise and stuff. I mean, UnderTheMayo's takes are just absolutely ridiculous, and he says a bunch of hypocritical stuff. I got some more clips right here to prove my darn point.
After V2, the game goes back to being pretty easy to pass with a runaway charge pistol spam. And I just don't agree with this kind of structure. If you think it's fine, well, okay. I know there's plenty of people who enjoy freestyling in a vacuum, but I don't want to feel like the skillful play is just occasionally demanded here and there and sprung on me out of nowhere. I want a game that makes me feel like I'm leveling up due to the escalating challenging nature of the level design and AI, eventually testing my learned skills with boss fights.
Keep in mind what UnderTheMayo just fucking said right there, because he's about to contradict himself real quickly, people.
Morgan, that doesn't even make sense. Because if you ignore that stuff if you go into Doom Eternal and you have no idea what the fuck you're doing, and you ignore what the game is showing you, you die. You don't progress. No, because I've made it through several hours of this game, and I've made it through multiple areas. I'm on different boss fights, and I don't feel that I'm any better at this game. And this has nothing to do with the game's quality at all. This game wants me to do things that I don't want to do. But this game wants me to run around and exploring worlds that bore me and fighting enemies that bore me so that I am stronger to beat boss fights that bore me. No, I'm not going back to explore the map anymore. I did that for 3 hours and it was super fucking boring. You guys are trying to get me to engage in this game in a way that's going to make me like it. I'm not going to like this game. There's literally nothing I like about this game.
Keep in mind, Mayo died a lot during the stream just because of those very same things that he said right there. The enemies, the AI, the bosses, the environment, the weapons, all that was boring, and he didn't want to do anything. He didn't want to fight enemies or explore or level up at all because he found the shit boring, which is why he kept dying a lot, because he didn't have enough runes to level up and be a high enough level with enough vigor and stuff. By the way, his own fans told him to level up vigor since he was dying a lot, but he didn't even want to do none of that. Like, this stuff just writes itself, I swear. Now, I know I've been talking about the Elden Ring part for a good while now, but this is the most recent thing that UnderTheMayo has done. Keep in mind as well, I know I've been saying keep in mind a lot during this video, but just keep in mind that he was also bashing Elden Ring before the stream even started, like days or so before he even did the darn stream, talking about how he didn't want to play Elden Ring. Yes, that's what he called it, Elden Ring, for some reason, and saying how his fan base should come over there and support the stream and donate to him because he totally doesn't want to play Elden Ring, so don't support the stream. Here, I'm going to show you the screenshot right here of his community post, because I'm pretty sure it doesn't make sense to you what I just said right there, but here you go. Now, let's get back to the topic of how it seems like he wants every single FPS to be just like Doom Eternal. Here's his Halo video right here, where he literally was talking about how he wanted the enemies, like the brutes and the grunts and stuff, to drop health pickups and everything, just like the enemies do in Doom Eternal, because he just thinks it will be a good idea, apparently, to him.
Or there could be health packs or health recharge stations, something to keep you moving. Personally, on top of shield recharge pickups on the ground, I think it would be cool to occasionally have enemies drop small personal health packs, and make shield regeneration dependent upon manual use shield charges.
In this same video, UnderTheMayo also made the claim that shield regen should be removed from all Halo games from now on as well, which is a really fucking dumb point, because shield regen has been a staple since the first Halo game. But no, he wants something to like have a standard darn health bar, or like a regenerative health system like it's freaking Call of Duty. Even though he also made the point that the shield regen in the later Halo games almost feels like the Call of Duty health regen system. So at the same time, you want it removed, but you also want it to be replaced with an actual health regening system, and then also have enemies drop like health packs and everything and stuff like this is freaking Doom and Doom Eternal. It honestly just does not make any single sense to me at all. But hold on, it gets a lot worse, because I have more things to show you to prove just why UnderTheMayo is the worst game reviewer on this platform. We're not done yet. After UnderTheMayo got done doing his darn Elden Ring stream, where it was a complete disaster and he failed or didn't even want to learn the game's mechanics and everything, and got butthurt over that fact when people told him otherwise, he made a video on a video game called Blazing Chrome, and It was a classic retro RPG, it seems. And in the title of his darn video, he put Blazing Chrome is not an open world RPG, thankfully, which is in reference to Elden Ring and the fact that he seems to hate games just like Elden Ring. He even made the claim that he does not like Souls games at all, which further questions why the hell he would ever do a stream on it. But hold on, it gets a lot worse there. Another thing with UnderTheMayo is that he wants every single game to be challenging or difficult in some way, and when the game has like an easy mode to it, he'll sit here and call the easy mode garbage and say that it's too easy and that people who play this easy mode will never try to learn the game systems and stuff like that, not realizing that the point of a fucking easy mode is for it to be what? Easy. It's supposed to be a breeze for those who don't exactly want to experience a challenge and just want to experience the story or what the game has to offer and stuff. But no, he did the same thing with Sifu. But a funny thing about this is that he once again contradicts himself, because when games do provide him with a challenge, he'll act like he doesn't want to learn the game's mechanics and stuff and say that it's bland and boring, or he just doesn't see where the game is trying to teach him the mechanics. He did stuff like this in his reviews for Sekiro, and also, like I showed you, he did it on his Elden Ring live stream. And funny enough, UnderTheMayo does not know how to take criticism at all, because he'll frequently call out his own fans or anyone else who dares to point out his darn hypocrisy about how he says that he wants games to challenge him, but when a game does pose a challenge to him and make him want to learn the mechanics, he doesn't want to learn the mechanics at all and says that the game is just bad by design. He's also made the claim that style ranking, style meters, and ranking systems in video games like Devil May Cry, Bayonetta, and any other kind of game that has style meters and stuff in it just do not make sense, and they don't really do anything, which is completely fucking false, because anybody who has played Devil May Cry and especially Bayonetta would know that the style rankings and the style meters actually do something in the darn games, such as in Devil May Cry, the music will amp up even more the higher your style ranking gets. In Bayonetta, you'll get more halos, which is the currency you get in the game. Think of the red orbs in Devil May Cry, and that's exactly what the halos are in Bayonetta. You'll get more of those the higher your style ranking and your darn meter is, and your multiplier is in Bayonetta 1 and 2. So, UnderTheMayo's point about those is completely false, despite the fact that literally in his gameplay footage, you can see his points be disproved right there in the footage that he shows, and yet he goes on to say that the style meters don't really do anything at all and don't add much to the gameplay. And just to show you guys what I'm talking about, here's the clip right here.
There's a lot of reasons to engage in the systems of Streets of Rage 4, apart from the style ranking at the end of the level. And speaking as someone who doesn't care about rankings, I feel good about achieving an S rank. I feel good about it now because I've already put in my time falling in love with the game and how it plays, so there's a sense of satisfaction upon seeing that S. Streets of Rage 4's ranking system is a reflection of the points you gained, but you're not actually aiming for that. You're aiming for high individual level points to gain enough extra lives to survive to the end, and the style ranking at the end simply tells you how well you've done that. It's not a goal in and of itself. Bayonetta actually has individual combat encounter rankings, and then a ranking total at the end of the level. And again, like the other games I just mentioned, it doesn't really mean anything. It has some nice limitations on it, like decreasing the value of attacks that you overuse, penalizing you for using potions. Playing in smart, stylish ways yields you a bunch of halos that you can use to unlock new attacks and items to help you during combat. So there's a decent incentive to try to earn as many as you can. But where I think it fails is in your starting combat options. Bayonetta gives you so many attack options right at the start that not only is it overwhelming to the point where I don't even want to add new attacks to the list as I'm trying to learn this game on a first playthrough, but I also feel like I don't need these extra attacks since the normal difficulty is so easy to mash through anyway.
He literally disproves his point right there in the video that the halos and the style meter in Bayonetta does not do anything, when he literally just said that playing better and getting a higher ranking and multiplier will net you more halos that you use to spend at the darn shop so you can get more moves and weapons and costumes and stuff. But then he just brushes it off and says, oh well, the game already gives me a bunch of combat options right at the start and a bunch of combat moves, you know, so I don't really feel incentivized to go and spend these halos and learn the moves and get higher rankings and stuff so I can earn more halos and buy more moves, because I already feel like I have enough right here and the game is already really easy on normal difficulty. No, it is not. For anybody who has played Bayonetta 1, especially Bayonetta 1, Bayonetta 2 is the easier one. Bayonetta 1 is fucking difficult, even on normal difficulty, and you will not get by with just the regular basic moves that the game gives you right at the start. Yes, it gives you a lot of moves right at the start, but they are not all that powerful, really. You need the better moves, such as the heel stomp. You also need weapons like the Tetsukano and all that and everything. Freaking the darn shotgun, which is a really good mid-range weapon. Honestly, I don't understand where UnderTheMayo is coming up with these points right here, where he literally goes, oh, well, yeah, okay, well, maybe the style meter does actually have a reason for being in the game. You know, it nets you halos and everything when you do better. But why would I ever want to spend the darn in-game currency that I get when I already feel like the game is easy enough for me already? UnderTheMayo also attacked a community of gamers for the game Ultra Kill, where he sat here and bashed on the game and its mechanics and all those who liked it just because it didn't have mechanics like Doom Eternal and it had a style meter system and stuff, and didn't focus on having like freaking 8 different weapons that you had to constantly switch through and use for different combat scenarios. No, it was completely different to how Doom Eternal was. Ultra Kill is basically the FPS version of Devil May Cry and Bayonetta. I can go on and on and on all day about the many times that UnderTheMayo has contradicted himself and has been a hypocrite in his darn reviews, and has also bashed others for his terrible takes on video games and was not able to take darn criticism, or the amount of times that he's brought up Doom Eternal and the OG God of War trilogy for what all of these games should be like, especially when it comes to FPS games, and how many times he wants to compare them to Doom Eternal and how they should have mechanics just like Doom Eternal, otherwise they suck. But this video was already pretty long, and also I'm not going to be covering his darn takes on Ultra Kill and the fact that he was attacking the community over the darn game. Instead, what I'm going to do is recommend you guys a video by Brother Nier, a great YouTuber who I watch, who has covered UnderTheMayo in the darn past, and even covered his darn video on Ultra Kill. And it's a really great video right here, okay? So I'm gonna just leave a link to Brother Nier's video about UnderTheMayo and his take on Ultra Kill down below, because Brother Nier is a really big fan of Ultra Kill, and he goes super in-depth about all the things that UnderTheMayo has gotten wrong about the game. So with that being said, this is me, Mitsuni Nika. I will see you guys in the next video. I hope you all have a blessed day, guys and gals. I am out.
I've been counting down the days to get out. I've been looking for a way from this town. And you're too far away to help.